Linesman will be John D'Amico. In goal for the New York Islanders, Billy Smith. Smith comes into this game with a playoff series goals against average of 2.43 this year, a record of 6 wins and 1 loss. And at the other end of the ice, it'll be Pete Peters for the Boston Bruins. Peters' record now is 7 wins, 5 losses, 1 shutout, and a 2.98 playoff goals against average. So we're set to go. Al Arbour sends Bryan Trottier to center ice. Bobby Nystrom on the right side. John Tonelli on the left with Potvin and Lane on defense. This is Park handling the puck. Shooting it into the Islanders' zone. We expect to see them pour all 3 forwards in, and they do come in a hurry, but the Islanders move it out quickly down into the Boston end of the ice, and Park has to go back. Will not be called for icing. Trottier into forecheck. Knocked it away from Park. Got it to Kallur. Kallur centers and went right through the goal mouth and bounces out to center ice. Potvin comes back. Eddie Potvin up the left wing for Kallur. Couldn't make contact with it. Park has it for the Bruins. To Keith Crowder. Crowder shoots it in. This time they send 2 men into forecheck. Crowder goes for a player change, and Lane is checked in his own zone. It comes back to Park. Can't handle it, and Bossy breaks out. Kallur with him on the right wing. Trottier moves up as well. 1 man back. That's Bourque. Bossy went around him. Got it to Kallur. Peters slid across to make a spectacular save. Now Bossy tied up in the corner. The puck sprung loose. Trottier put it right through the goal mouth. Bruce Crowder finds an opening and dumps it down into the Islanders' zone. It'll go right to Billy Smith. Bruins and Islanders complete player changes. Gordy Lane out to Bourne off his stick. Picked up by O'Connell. There's a penalty call coming. Bruce Crowder pokes it in over the Islander line, and play is called. We get an elbowing penalty. Referee Bruce Hood sending Kenny Morrow to the penalty box, I believe, for elbowing.
Opening opportunity, Jiggs. The Islanders missed up. Look at the play by Bossy as he gets the puck to Kallur, and Peters drops Kallur from close in. They're working on Park. They know he can't turn. He can't turn with any speed. Islanders broke away with that backhand pass. Bossy to Kallur, and Peters, early in the game, takes one good opportunity away from the New York Islanders.
You take a look at Jerry Cheevers at the Boston bench, toiled for 19 years in the NHL as a goaltender. The penalty is going to Gord Lane. Bruce Hood got all mixed up. He knew it was somebody with a beard. Lane had gone to the players' bench. He pointed to Morrow. Morrow said, "Who, me? I just came out on the ice." The other guy. So it's Gordy Lane for elbowing at 1:11.
As funny as it may sound, at that point, he doesn't care. Just as one of the Islanders, as long as one of the Islanders go into the penalty box.
Bruins have jumped it into the Islanders' zone. Pass back to Bourque was broken up, and Goring has shot it down the ice. Peters out of the net to handle it, gave it to Bourque. The Bruins were 0 for 3 on their power play in the opening game here on Tuesday night. They start from deep in their own zone. Peterson gave it to Bourque, who circled in front of the net. Back to Peterson over center ice. Good pass to Middleton, but it bounced off his stick, and Morrow hustles back. Eddie Morrow got it to Bill Carroll. Billy Carroll trying to come up the right side. O'Connell broke up the play across to Fergus. Jonsson takes him off the puck. Here's Middleton out of the corner, and Goring tipped it. It hit O'Connell, and Morrow has cleared it into center ice. Ray Bourque over the center ice stripe, gave it to O'Connell. Mike O'Connell's pass blocked on the far side, shot down the boards by Billy Carroll. O'Connell picks it up. No score, early action. O'Connell to Peterson across to Middleton on the left side. Morrow tried to tie him up, knocked the puck away from the shifty Bruin forward. There's Bourne helping out. Bourne found an opening and has shot it down the ice with 42 seconds left in the elbowing penalty against Lane. Pete Peters leaving the puck for Bourque. Bourque up the middle. Pete Crowder comes over the Islander line with McNabb trailing on the play. McEwen got a piece of the puck and has cleared it out across the blue line. Park waits for his teammates to get back. And Park laid it in on the left side to Krushelinski. A drive, fits the save, and he holds on with 18 seconds left. That's the first good scoring attempt the Bruins have had with the man advantage.
First good attempt they've had in the hockey game, Jake. Wasting away another power play opportunity. Krushelinski gets a little daylight down the left wing side. Lets the shot go. Smith out of the net. Handled it easily.
Now Bryan Trottier has come out to take the face-off for the Islanders. It will be Trottier against McNabb. Well, it's Krushelinski you were looking at on the left side of this Boston forward line. Crowder is on the right. McNabb handling the puck, dropped it back. Kluzak, a long shot, is tipped and just went wide. Here's McNabb, put it out in front of drive and score! Krushelinski got the shot away. Billy Smith had some company in the goal crease with him. It's 1-0 Boston.
They're off the wagon, as Harry Sinden would say. Time to have a beer. He said, score a power play goal, have a beer, get two, and go on a bender. A power play goal. Let's take a look at McNabb behind the net. There's the shot by Krushelinski, top right-hand corner. One motion as he drilled it up into the top of the net. Peter McNabb hustled behind. There's the play. And Krushelinski left uncovered. In front of and to the right of Billy Smith has given the Bruins a 1-0 lead.
Krushelinski's first goal in this playoff series. So the teams are at 6 aside. Potvin back into his own zone, right side to Gordy Lane. Here's Brent Sutter with the pass, and the Bruins center right. Give it to Bruce Crowder on this right side. Potvin chases him to the corner. Put on in front of the net. Into the skates of Lane as he and Dufour got tangled up. Potvin into the center right zone. Wayne Sutter heads to the right wing, chasing a loose puck. Knocks it away from Park. There's Brent Sutter back in the net. It's played around the board. Lane is tied up. Over comes Kallur, and there's no further play. A little shoving and pushing after the whistle. We get a break in the action. 16:15 to play in the opening period with the score. The Bruins won, the Islanders nothing. We look at the goal again on the power play as McNabb put it out in front of the net. See Crowder in the goal crease on the right side, but that young man, like Krushelinski, who celebrated his 23rd birthday yesterday, as the Bruins on top, 1-0. Here's O'Connell dumping it in. Billy Smith. There's an aside for Jonsson. He and Morrow on defense with Trottier working between Bossy and Kallur for the Islanders. Ray Bourque and O'Connell back in the Boston defense. They set it up the left side to Peterson. Put it right on Bossy's stick. Now back to Jonsson. Thomas Jonsson over to Mike Bossy. Pulled it away from Middleton. Left side to Kallur. And there's Kallur trying to work it back to Bossy. Knocked down by O'Connell. Comes around the far side, picked up by Tomas Jonsson. Two Bruins move up quickly as Jonsson gave it to Bossy. The Trottier went off his skates, controlled by Middleton. Comes over the line, but can't get a shot away. Now Gillis lost it on the right wing boards, and Trottier drops it to Bossy. Over center ice, works on Bourque. The pass went off Kallur. He and O'Connell chase it back of the net. Bourque comes in to pick it up. Got a hit from Trottier as he moved it up the left side to Gillis. Out to center to Peterson. Peterson over the line, working on Lane. The pass to Middleton, bounced off his stick and recovered. Center. Smith makes a good pad save on Mike Gillis to cut in off left wing. Here comes Lane. Gordy Lane at center ice. Shot it into the Boston zone. They really had not crossed the center ice stripes, and the Islanders are called for having iced the puck. 5 minutes gone in the opening period. There's a break in the action at the score. The Bruins won, the Islanders nothing.
After going ahead 1-0 on Krushelinski's goal, the Bruins are right back knocking at the door of Billy Smith. Good stop by Bill Smith with his right skate. Back to the live action.
And it's Nystrom out of the right side with Bourne on left wing and Goring at center ice. McNabb in forechecking, gets bumped by Potvin. McNabb one-handed it back to Park. A backhander is deflected, scooped up by Billy Smith.
Kind of pressure that the Boston Bruins know they're going to have to put on the Islanders. They like it that way. Goals result from constant pressure. Islanders, a little disorganized. Can't seem to control the puck in their own end of the ice. Can't give it that classic pass. I'm looking for the Islanders to switch a little, Jiggs. They've been working up the boards early here in the first period. I think you'll see them start to switch and use the center iceman out in the center ice area, about 10 feet inside the blue line.
Especially with the Bruins pouring in on this forechecking the way they have been, yeah. O'Connell comes across. Bourne runs into him. And the puck loose in the Boston zone. Nystrom bumped hard by Gord Kluzak. 1-0 Boston as they come up the right wing, led by McNabb across to Kluzak. Over the Islander line. Kluzak got one toward the net that deflected off Morrow. Smith cleared it right back to the corner. Kluzak centers. McEwen clears it from the goal mouth. Comes out to McNabb. A drive, and it's off Billy Smith. Here's Goring slapping it around the boards. O'Connell held it in to Crowder. Bouncing puck. Crowder backhanded it wide. Krushelinski centers. Cleared out of there by Michael McEwen. Tonelli breaks out for the Islanders. Into center ice. Over the Boston line. Works to the right side around Melnick. Gave it to Goring. Moves in. Shoots. Peters to save. Goring put it out in front. Up over the stick of Nystrom. And there's a Boston penalty coming up. The Islanders go to a power play after missing a golden opportunity to score. A break in the action. 13:52 left in the period. The score is Boston 1, the Islanders nothing.
Opportunities. Peters this time comes up with a big save after Billy Smith had beaten Peter McNabb. A penalty to the Boston Bruins. Here's Butch Goring a moment ago as Peters robs him. Goring tried to go between the legs as Peters was moving on his way down, but he got to the puck before it got through.
Holding penalty against Fergus at 6:08. The Islanders' power play was good on 1 of 3 attempts in the opening game of the series. We watch it set up now, led by Potvin. He and Jonsson on the points with Bourne, Brent Sutter, and Duane Sutter the forward. Potvin has shot it around the boards. Duane Sutter in after, couldn't get a stick on it. It's cleared out to center ice. Here's Potvin. Over to Jonsson. Again tonight they use Middleton and Peterson as the penalty killers for the Bruins. Jonsson has fired it around the boards. Bourque and Park the defense for Boston. Bourne got it to Duane Sutter. It's cleared to back of the net, held in by Jonsson. Jonsson to the corner for Duane Sutter. Sutter trying to set up Bourne, comes out in front himself, bangs it off the pads of Peters, and it's cleared out of the goal mouth.
Ray Bourque, Jiggs, using his hand. He pushed the puck to the corner. Good play by Bourque.
And it's legal. If he had covered up on it in the goal crease, it would have been a penalty shot. Perhaps. Potvin across the line. Right side to Jonsson. Jonsson centers to Potvin. He's robbed by Peters and went over top of the Boston goaltender. And again, the Bruins clear it down the ice now with 54 seconds left in the penalty to Fergus. We watch Tomas Jonsson starting out of his own zone. Into center. Slapped it around the boards in the Boston end of the ice. Trottier went in after it. Kicked it back of the net. Kallur couldn't handle it. The Bruins failed to clear it out. Here's Tomas Jonsson in right wing. Jonsson's drive blocked in front by O'Connell and cleared quickly. And Brad Palmer forces the Islanders to go back. 30 seconds left in the penalty to Fergus. McEwen is out now with Jonsson. This is McEwen into center ice. Shoots it around the boards. Bossy goes in after it. He and Krushelinski bump together. Over comes Park as well. And the puck came back to McEwen and hopped over to his stick. He recovers at center ice, giving it to Jonsson. Tomas Jonsson to Michael McEwen. Bossy cuts to the right wing as McEwen comes over the line. The pass to Bossy. Stepped around O'Connell, then couldn't make the play as Palmer was right on top of him. Here's Park to the Bruins. And the penalty has expired. The team's at 6 aside. Trottier picks up on those pucks. Centering attempt broken up and cleared by O'Connell. McEwen comes back. McEwen back by Fergus, who races in after a loose puck. Tom Fergus goes back to the net. Centered and hit Trottier. Now O'Connell picks it up. Put it out in front of the shot went wide. Dufour was parked in front of the goal mouth. Fergus forechecking, kicks the puck away from Tonelli. Backhanded it wide of the net. There's Morrow. Eddie Morrow to Bobby Nystrom. Nystrom over to McEwen. Now to Trottier. Trottier at center ice. Shoots it wide at Peters. Peters leaves it for Bourque. With just over 11 minutes to play in this opening period. Goring breaks up a play. Gave it to Tonelli, and a shot went over the crossbar. Krushelinski for the Bruins. Checked by Nystrom. Then he recovered the puck. Krushelinski up the right wing, but Fergus. Across to Kluzak. Comes over the line. Gord Kluzak. Chased by Morrow. His centering attempt is broken up by Tonelli. Now to Nystrom. Nystrom dumps it into the Boston zone. Peters back of the net, plays it around the boards. Morrow hurries up the right side, held the puck in, got a hit from Fergus as well. Kluzak clearing attempt, rolls down inside the Islanders zone, and back comes Gord Lane. Lane to Goring. Goring over the center ice stripe across the Boston line. Butch Goring unable to make the play, and the puck rolled off his stick right to Peters, who has smothered it for a face-off. A break in the action with 10.5 minutes to play in the first period. The score, Boston Bruins 1, New York Islanders no score.
Some pressure off Billy Smith, something to watch for, Jiggs. Whenever the Islanders shoot the puck into Boston's end, they shoot it around the boards. Peters does not handle it. He doesn't go out to handle the puck. If they dump it in the corner, he does.
Potvin just tested him with a bullet from the blue line. The McNabb comes over the Islander line, was checked by Jonsson, and the Islanders have cleared it to center ice. Here's O'Connell to McNabb. Shot it in around the boards. Billy Smith wrapped it back of the net. Tried to play it up left wing. It hit McNabb. McNabb being tied up by Bourne. Brent Sutter and Keith Crowder are there together now. McNabb got it loose to O'Connell from the blue line and drives. Smith makes the save. Helnick with the shot. Knocked down and cleared just wide of the Islander goal, then picked up by Jonsson. Jonsson gets away from Keith Crowder. Gave it to Bourne on left wing. Across it goes to Duane Sutter. Helnick got back and broke up that play. There's Jonsson for the Islanders. Put it right on the stick of Greg McTavish to McNabb. Back to McTavish. McTavish checked behind the Islander goal. McNabb comes to the near corner to pick it up. Tried to slip it around Bourne, couldn't do it, and Bob Bourne shot it right into the Islander players' bench.
Boston gets back into the Islanders' end, where they'd like to be, of course. Peter McNabb trying to do a little razzle-dazzle, lost the puck. They had someone clear in front of the net, 25 feet out, but McNabb lost the puck to Tomas Jonsson. Something else that Boston is doing tonight, Jiggs, they didn't do the other night. They're getting more mileage out of some of the players we didn't see play very often. Melnick, Palmer, or two of them.
Here's Park from the blue line, scooped up and cleared by Billy Smith to Mike Bossy. Bossy, Trottier, now Goring goes to the bench as Kallur comes out, and Bossy ripped one over the Boston net. Kallur forechecking, can't get it away from Park. Middleton played it to center ice. Peterson to the left side. Here's Gillis. Back to Peterson, but McEwen was riding hurt on him. Trottier takes over on the left wing. Gave it to McEwen. Up the boards to Kallur, out of his reach, and here's Park out at center ice. Brad Park off the boards. Trottier unable to get a stick on it. Now Bossy sends Kallur across the line. Just shot it wide, and is taken by Howe. Marty Howe headed it right to Trottier. Shoots, that's one wide. Wayne Sutter with the loose puck. Sutter back to McEwen from the point. Tees it up, lets it go. It's tipped. Peters to save. Trottier a backhander. Hits Park and bounces into the corner. Wayne Sutter puts it off to the side of the net. Kallur got a backhander away. Peters covers up and holds on.
The Islanders have not been without their opportunities. Peters has robbed them time and again. This time off Bryan Trottier's backhand attempt. Peters, like a cat, went darting across to get the puck. Here's McEwen having trouble. He's having a lot of trouble at the point. Tipped by Kallur. Here's Trottier as he turns. Look at the reflexes of Peters as he dove across, getting just enough of the puck to send it wide. Here's the exchange in front of the net as Howe handed the puck away. That's how Boston lost it. The Islanders came close to tying the score.
Now Wayne Merrick will center for Greg Gilbert, and Wayne Sutter for the Islanders. Potvin and Lane on defense. Fergus takes the face-off for Boston, winning the draw, giving it to O'Connell. O'Connell up the middle to Fergus. Comes over center ice, backhanding it into the Islanders' zone. Dufour chases it to the corner. Duane Sutter knocked it away from him. There's Lane with it. The Potvin, now to Greg Gilbert. Gilbert got it to the line. It was held in, and O'Connell shot it wide. On and off the mesh, back onto the mesh, and they'll face off to the left of the Islander net. It's just over 8 minutes to play in this opening period.
Different tempo for the Boston Bruins in the opening part of the game. Something that they had to execute. More offense. Can't allow the Islanders to keep coming at them. Force some errors.
Well, they got a break a few seconds ago when Marty Howe gave the puck away in his own end of the ice.
Handed it right to Kallur.
Arbour has Butch Goring out to face off against Fergus. Deep in the Islanders' zone. Bob Bourne and Nystrom are the other forwards. Jonsson and Morrow on the point. The puck cleared to the corner. Bruce Trotter tumbled over top of Jonsson. Fergus picks it up. Goring stays right with him. Now Fergus trying to move it around behind the net. Goes to the far corner. Goring like a bird. Here's Fergus coming the other way. And checked this time by Jonsson. The puck sprung loose for Bourne. Bourne tipped it out across the line, and O'Connell covered up quickly. Gave it to Bruce Trotter. And again, the Bruins poured in after it. Jonsson hustles back. Thomas Jonsson left side for John Tonelli. Tonelli couldn't trap it. Bruce Trotter checked it center ice by Tonelli. Into the Boston zone. Tonelli to Nystrom, and it was just out of his reach. Cleared by Bourque. Around to Dufour. Goring knocked it away from him. Fergus was there to pick it up. He and Morrow collide. Bourque comes up the left side over the Islander line. Trying to move around Jonsson. Turns. Backhand pass off Nystrom, and it'll be taken by Morrow. Back to Nystrom. Nystrom into center ice. Works on Park as he got over the Boston line. McNabb steps in front of Nystrom. Park failed to pick up the puck. Bourque was there. He's checked by Tonelli. Ron Tonelli kicks it loose. Comes out of the corner with a pass. Brent Sutter turns. Sutter to Nystrom. Nystrom pulls away from McNabb. Then turned and ran into the check. Nystrom gets it loose for Brent Sutter. Now McNabb able to clear it. Lane comes in off the right point. Gordy Lane backhands it around the boards. Potvin moves over on the left side. Shot it into the corner for Nystrom. Nystrom back to Brent Sutter. Brent Sutter centering attempt is broken up and cleared by Bruce Trotter. Goes all the way to Billy Smith, and the Islander goaltender will leave it there for Gord Lane. Lane over over the center ice stripe. The pass went off Wayne Sutter. It's loose back at the center ice zone again. Dumped into the Boston end by Lane, and now he is replaced by Tomas Jonsson. So the Bruins trying to come out. Bourne picks up the puck, comes in over the line. Bourne trying to center one. Wayne Sutter got a stick on it, couldn't control it, and the Bruins have cleared it to center ice.
Peters is playing with a broken stick, Jiggs. The goaltender, Peters, had a handle of his stick broken. You can see clearly that it's bent way over. He's hanging on to it, though.
Sure is. Well, you can... The only guy out there, the two goaltenders, that can play with that broken lumber. Right now, Middleton picks up the puck and moves in. Goes round behind the net, put it out in front. Gillis took a swat at it. Billy Smith grabbed it in the air. It came loose. Smith out of the side of the net, dives on top of the puck, and will freeze it for a faceoff. 5:50 remaining in the opening period. The score with a break in the action here. The Bruins won, the Islanders nothing. Trottier on the faceoff. Bruins tried to get it to the line. O'Connell to Middleton, over to Peterson. Peterson tried to set up Gillis in front, but Jonsson broke up that play. Here's Peterson coming out, ran into Trottier, and Bossy brings the puck to center ice. Bossy stops as he ran into Kluzak. Now to Trottier, comes over the line. The backhand shot, Peters to save. He holds on to it.
Quick move by Peters again, Jiggs. He's looking sharp. He's been staying in the net a little more. Probably a lot of that is because the Islanders have not had the constant attack in this game early that they had in the first one. Here's the backhand shot. Watch the catching mitt of Peters. He looked a little surprised that he had it in there, but he had the glove low in a spot where it was supposed to be. Picked off the backhand shot by Bryan Trottier.
From that angle, it appeared as if the shot may have deflected off the Bruins' stick. Peters' cat-like reflexes held on. Trottier wins the draw. Back to Lane. Around the boards. Kallur and Bossy chasing it. Anders Kallur to Bossy. Trying to turn inside Fergus. Turns the other direction. Fergus hangs right with him. Up goes the arm of Bruce Hood. Fergus is going to go off for a holding. Bossy in control of the puck. Centers Trottier, a backhander. Peters to stop. It came loose, and as Fergus recovers, the play is called, and Tom Fergus draws his second penalty of the period. A break in the action. 5:08 left to play in the period. The score is Boston 1, the Islanders nothing.
A penalty to the Boston Bruins. Tom Fergus gets a holding penalty. There's Bossy as he tries to fight him away. See the left arm go out, grab onto Bossy, held. There goes the arm of Bruce Hood, signaling Fergus to the penalty box. He let him go quite a while, Jiggs, before he decided to give him a penalty. Give him a chance to let go, but when he didn't, he was forced to call the penalty.
Now we watch Goring at center ice. Tonelli on the right, Nystrom on the left for the faceoff. The puck was poked right through to Peters, and it off to Bourque. Bourque over center ice. Potvin and McEwen back to draw. They're to race the pass to Peterson, and a shot blocked by Smith. Billy Smith gave it to Potvin, then to Tonelli. Into center ice. 4 Bruins back as Tonelli played it in around Park. Collides with Bourque in his pursuit of the puck. Took Bourque down. Nystrom unable to pick it up. Tonelli got it loose for Nystrom, who rounds the net. Bobby Nystrom takes a look. Potvin has started in from the point. Went back instead to McEwen. Now to Nystrom. To Butch Goring. Park watches him. The pass back to McEwen. A drive from the point. Peters got the stick in front of it, and Brad Park slaps it off the boards and out to center ice. Billy Smith out of the net. Leaves the puck for Denis Potvin. Mike Bossy comes over the boards at the Islander bench. So does Kallur. So does Trottier. Potvin into center ice. The pass to Trottier. Into the Boston zone. Trottier tied up by O'Connell. Potvin goes in after the puck. Back to the point to McEwen. McEwen a drive. Peters the save.
How quick he is. His pitching hand darts out like a viper picking off the puck. Mike McEwen had drilled from the right point position. Here's the shot. Watch the left hand catching mitt. Peters sticks it out quickly. Snares it. Park on Kallur. Covering in front of Peters.
Now Tomas Jonsson has come out on the Islander defense. Jerry Cheever's counting the crowd.
He looks like what he said to say, oh boy, am I glad he got a hold of that one.
59 seconds left in this power play. Potvin moved in from the point to knock it away from Peterson. Got it to Trottier to Kallur. Yushelinski riding hurt on him. Kallur to Trottier. Out in front. Here's Kallur with a shot. Bad save by Peters. It came loose. Jonsson in off the right point. Bossy backed him up. That's something the Islanders do so well. Then Bossy is checked, and Brad Park has shot it down the ice. 35 seconds remaining in the power play for the New York Islanders. They trail the Bruins 1-0 late in the first period. Potvin to Jonsson. Jonsson over center ice. Trying to go in around Middleton and was checked. 50 Middleton. Oh, here's the break for Palmer. Coming right in on goal. He shoots. He scores!
A short-handed goal for the Boston Bruins has given them a big 2-0 lead in Game 2 here in the first period. 3:27 remaining in the first period. 19 seconds still remain in Fergus's holding penalty. Look at the play by Middleton. A heads-up play as they trap the Islanders all inside the red line. And there's the move by Palmer high into the net over Billy Smith. And it's 2-0 Boston.
That's Palmer's first goal in the playoffs and a pretty goal for the young man that they acquired from Minnesota. The Bruins now with 3 shorthanded goals in the playoffs, and all of them have come here at the Boston Garden. The Islanders have 3, all 3 on the road. Still 10 seconds in the power play. McEwen shot right on. It's on the doorstep and knocked loose. Ends up in the far wing. Overcame Morrow, but big Kluzak has cleared it out. Play has been called. A hand pass called against the Boston Bruins.
Another good opportunity, Jiggs, for the Islanders to get a goal. And Peters swept it away. He didn't see the puck. The Islanders must have lost contact with it. There's the puck. It's loose. It's laying there. Duane Sutter got a swipe at it, but he missed it. There's the shot from the point as it came in. The Islanders still on a power play. Peters looked to his right. The puck lay there twice. Duane Sutter took a whack at the puck and missed it both times. Easily, if he'd have got the stick on it, he could have shoved it into the open net.
4 seconds remaining in the penalty to Fergus. Brent Sutter gets the draw back to Morrow off the right wing. His shot was blocked, bounces out to center ice. Bruins unable to pick it up. Fergus had been headed for the bench. Now Peterson is checked by Lane, and here's Bourne on left wing. Bourne stick handles neatly over the Boston line. Shot it around Park and bounced right out in front. Oh, Peters put a pad in front of Brent Sutter's shot. Now Park and Duane Sutter doing some shoving. Brushelinski is there as well. Cooler heads prevail.
Good opportunities for the New York Islanders. They're not putting them in tonight, Jiggs, and that's going to be costly if it continues, of course. Not so much the good save by Peters, but the poor shot from a bouncing puck by the Islanders. Let's take a look. There's Bourne as he trickled it between Brad Park's legs. The puck comes off the backboard, mishandled by Peters. Brent Sutter, the puck bouncing, could not get a handle on it. His weak drive, Peters took off his left pad and held on.
Arbour with Brent Sutter, Duane Sutter, and Bob Bourne still as his forward line. Bob Hodges, the linesman, has gone over to the Boston bench where Dan Canny, the Bruin trainer, is attending to his right hand. Gives us an opportunity to take another look at the action.
Close call. 4 or 5 times now the Islanders have missed good scoring opportunities.
They're giving the Boston goal to Palmer with an assist
to Middleton.
Yep.
It would have to be Middleton at least, Jiggs. He made that fine jumping pass from just inside his own blue line. Palmer was speeding up through center ice.
Now Brent Sutter gets the draw cleanly to Bourne across the Morrow. Had to chase it to the right wing board. Fired it toward the net, and there's Peters out of the goal mouth to scoop it up. And again, Duane Sutter trying to knock it away from him, and again he is irritating Pete Peters.
Bruce Hood talking to Peters, shaking his head, saying, no, the whistle hadn't blown. Legal move by Sutter. It's cringing. It's getting on the very edge. Do you do it, do you not? But with the intensity of a playoff game, yes, you do. You take every advantage that you can. Without the whistle blowing, you can try and knock it away from the goaltender. Here's the shot from the point. Peters reaches out, grabs on. The whistle hasn't blown. It was that crack across the back of the leg, I suppose, that Peters was arguing about. I don't blame him.
24 hours from now, New York Mets baseball right here on WOR-TV. The Mets and the Atlanta Braves tomorrow night at 8, and again on Saturday afternoon at 1:30 live from Shea Stadium.
How about that 2-1 win of my Mets the other night? The first road victory. Got to start somewhere.
I'll bet there are days that Nelson Doubleday wishes they were yours. John Tonelli tied up in the corner with O'Connell. Nystrom comes in, but the puck has been frozen and will get a face-off to the right. The New York Islanders will conduct their annual summer hockey school in cooperation with Nassau County. It'll take place at Cadillac Park in Hicksville, Long Island. 8 one-week sessions beginning July 11th and running through September 3rd. Those interested in attending the Islanders summer hockey school, or at least having a brochure, getting more information on it, call area code 516-935-3501. They watch Middleton flipping the puck into the center ice zone away from Peterson, however, and Tonelli slaps it off the boards. O'Connell shoots it right back in again. The Bruins now sending only 2 men into forecheck as they have a 2-0 lead over the Islanders. Tonelli got the puck loose for Goring. Cuts to the right, fed it back to the left for John Tonelli. Tonelli tried to center one that hit O'Connell. Peterson slammed on the boards by Nystrom. Here's Potvin in off the left point. Nystrom is wrestled down. A shot kicked aside by Peters. Nystrom puts it out in front. There's a penalty call coming against the Boston Bruins. There'll be a cross-check. Setting up an Islander power play with 1 minute and 55 seconds left in the opening period.
Not a time for the Bruins to get careless. The Islanders had come close on several occasions. They do not want to give them too many more. They can score. They have a lot of scoring punch. Gord Kluzak, a cross-checking penalty, has gone to the penalty box. There's some of the rough play. Peterson and Nystrom, as they bang away at each other, the puck is nowhere in sight. Cross-checking to Kluzak. There's the shot stopped by Peters. He's been busy here at times in the first period. It was that cross-check on John Tonelli that drew the penalty on Kluzak.
The regular season, the Bruins penalty killing was 8th in the league, filling off 80.7% of the penalties against them. In the playoffs, about 83% efficiency. They killed off 2 of 3 against the Islanders on Tuesday night. And here they're shorthanded for the 3rd time, and Bossy moved in, couldn't pick up a loose puck after Bourque had blocked one. Potvin kept it in. Now Trottier can't tip it across to Kallur, and the Islanders are forced to chase it.
Little different hockey game for the Bruins at this point, Jake. They have a 2-goal lead. They have to breathe a little more comfortable and play with a little more cockiness, something they haven't been able to do so far.
Well, Jerry Cheevers told everybody after the first game that there would be a different hockey team come Thursday night. Thus far, they've lived up to that. Rushalinski gave it to Palmer, comes over the Islander line, is filled, and Bossy is headed for the penalty box.
Hooking penalty. Bruce Hood points the finger at Mike Bossy. Not often do you see the high scorer go to the penalty box, but Bruce Hood caught him with a hooking penalty. Take a look. There's Peterson as he tries to cut through. Bossy got the stick on him, upended him, and gets the penalty.
Bruin goals, Rushalinski at 3:05, Palmer at 16:33. The first was a power play goal. The second a shorthanded goal. Eddie Westfall will be talking with Islander general manager and president of the team, Bill Torrey, on the first intermission. Talking with him or grilling him?
Well, we'll see what his mood is.
Palmer got it back to Parker, shot one high and wide, and here's Trottier. Trottier headed it right to Palmer, and his shot went off Michael McEwen. Morrow races to the corner, plays it around behind his own goal to McEwen. McEwen up the right side, held in by Bourque. Ray Bourque cuts across to the opposite side. Takes a look, lets a shot go that's wide. Billy Smith takes it off the boards, has it in the catching glove, threw it to McEwen, now to Bourne. Then he held it a long time without a whistle. Bourque out at center ice. 43 seconds left in the penalty to Kluzak. The period will end before that. We watch as Brad Park sets up the plays. Right side to Fergus. Fergus across to Middleton. It went off the heel of his stick. He recovers. Middleton shot. Actually a pass. Went right to Billy Smith. Fergus and McEwen get tied up. Fergus comes out of the corner with 15 seconds left in the period. Here's O'Connell with a shot. Bounced off McEwen and just wide of the net. Brent Sutter takes it back at the goal. Now up the left wing boards for Bourne. He and Park tie one another. The puck cleared deeper into the Islander zone, and McEwen feeds it up to Brent Sutter. Brent Sutter over to Bob Bourne, and there's the siren ending the opening period. And the crowd here at the Boston Garden, except for about 50 people, are up with a standing ovation for the Bruins as they lead the Islanders by a score of 2-0. At the end of one period, our score, the Bruins 2, the Islanders nothing. We'll be back with a recap following these messages. We're set for the second period. The puck dropped, and Billy Carroll comes over the line. His quick shot off the post to the right of Peters. Bourque slaps it around the boards, and now the Bruins enjoy the man advantage as Kluzak is out of the penalty box. O'Connell, checked by Billy Carroll. Carroll unable to center it cleanly. It's picked up by Goring. Back to the point to Lane. Gordy Lane shot right on. Peters got the chest in front of it, and it comes back to Lane. Picked up instead by Middleton quickly to Peterson. Comes over the line. Peterson shot it wide. He had Crowder moving up the right side at the time. Now Keith Crowder out of the right wing corner trying to get it to Middleton. That's broken up by Potvin to Goring, and the Islanders have cleared it to center. O'Connell to Middleton. His pass blocked by Lane. Sprung loose. Peterson dumps it into the corner, and there's Keith Crowder. Crowder checked by Lane. Goring gets a stick on it. Got it to Billy Carroll to the line, but not out. Bossy is out of the penalty box. Here's Middleton. Put it out in front. Missed all the Bruins. Missed all the Islanders as well. And Ray Bourque covers up at the Boston line. Bourque shoots it high in the air, down into the Islanders zone. That's Gordy Lane going back for it. Lane uses the left wing board. Bruce Crowder breaks in. Checked from behind by Kallur. Then Potvin handed it right back to Anders Kallur. Trottier back to Kallur. Stick handles his way over the center ice stripe. Across the Boston line, trying to work in around Dufour. Put on the brakes and ran into a check from Kluzak. Dufour takes it back at the goal. Luke Dufour dumps it out into the center ice zone. Kallur hustles back. A minute and a half gone in the second period. Kallur's pass intercepted by Bruce Crowder. Came in on the right side, gave it to Fergus. He's checked by Morrow. Bruce Crowder can't pick it up as Trottier lifted his stick at the last second. Kallur shoots it wide of Peters. Peters handling the puck, backhands it up into the crowd. We talked about that on Tuesday night. He handles the puck so well as a rule, uses the glass, the boards, and on occasion will play it up the middle. But he is very strong.
His history is of handling the puck well, Jiggs, but Tuesday night he did not handle it well. The Islanders took advantage of the mistakes he made, got a couple of goals off it. Here right now, one of the early times, or one of the first times he's handled the puck in this hockey game, it seemed to stick to his stick as he tried to backhand it high up on the glass again. He's really just throwing it up like a jump ball in a basketball game. When he dumps it that high off the glass, it's anybody's puck.
Now for the Islanders, Duane Sutter, Brent Sutter, and Bob Bourne, and the puck has been frozen to the right of Pete Peters for a face-off. Well, there are a lot of Islander fans here tonight, many of them college students. Several young men and women from the Long Island area who attend the various colleges here in the Boston area, taking in the game. Arlene Hirschman wanted us to let Mom and Dad know that she got the check.
How about the mark?
Well, we didn't check on that. Morrow backhanded it in front. There's Park for the Bruins. He's cleared it out to center. Thomas Jonsson to Duane Sutter. Off his stick to Park. Checked by Bourne. Bourne with Kluzak sliding over out to Duane Sutter. Bangs at it, and it went wide on the glove side. Comes out in front. Peters, a pad save. Bourne goes back to the net. Bob Bourne checked by Park. There'll be a Boston penalty coming up. Morrow and McNabb, and then it went loose to Krushelinski, and the penalty called against the Bruins. A break in the action. 17:39 remaining in the second period with the score. Boston 2, New York Islanders nothing.
Kluzak gets a cross-checking penalty in front of the net. There's Duane Sutter. Takes the forceful blow across the middle of the back. Gord Kluzak goes to the penalty box for that cross-checking.
It's Trottier, Kallur, Bossy, McEwen, and Potvin for the Islanders. McEwen on the right point. Got it across to Potvin. Out of Trottier. Trottier trying to pull it away from O'Connell. Gave it to Kallur. Back to Trottier. Walks in. Was checked. Bossy can't get a stick on it. McEwen at the blind. To Potvin. Across to Kallur. Back to McEwen. His drive. Peters to save. He got in front of the rebound as Bossy chipped at it. Pete Peters held his ground and forces a face-off.
The Boston Bruins need a hot goaltender. They have him so far tonight, and Peters...
They used to have him in that man.
They used to which?
Used to have him in that man that we just looked at.
Oh, yes, and Cheevers. Bossy tries to softly lift the puck over Peters, but between the check of the defenseman and Peters in front of the puck, it did not happen.
Islanders just won the face-off. McEwen ripped the shot wide. Let a blistering shot go from the point. The Islanders are forced back. The Bruins have Middleton and Peterson out as the penalty killers, along with Bourque and O'Connell. And we watch McEwen lug it to center ice. Shot it around the boards in the Boston zone. Trottier in quickly. Trottier got it to Bossy. Comes out in front of the backhander that hit O'Connell. Bossy knocked it down. Got it to Kallur, to Bossy. Heated up, then plays it back to Potvin. Lets one go. Was over the crossbar. Trottier backhanded it in front. Peters, a sliding save. Got the catching glove on it. Backing it up with his left pad. Forcing a face-off.
Denis Potvin giving himself a talking to. He pulled the puck back, let it fly. The puck was bouncing when he let it go. There's one of the shots a moment ago that went wide of the net from McEwen. It went right around the boards to the opposite side where Denis Potvin was stationed, and his shot high over the net.
Now McEwen gets it over to Potvin, into Bossy. He's watched by Bourque as he handed it back to Potvin. His shot, that's tipped in front of the net. Trottier was knocked down by Bourque, and Peterson picks up a bouncing puck. Across to O'Connell. O'Connell to the Islander line. Lets one fly. Billy Smith, the glove save. Knocked it away from O'Connell, who was in quickly. Potvin now. Back to McEwen. 40 seconds remaining in this power play for the Islanders. They're down 2-0 here in Boston. Bossy in quickly. Got it back to the left point. That's Potvin. Eddie Potvin. Across to Trottier. Trottier to Potvin. He shoots. He scores! Potvin off the point. It's 2-1.
He's been on the ice for every power play goal in the playoffs so far. And this time, the captain wrinkles the twine with a hard shot. A give and go with Bryan Trottier. There's the backhand pass. There's the play to Trottier. He let it go immediately right inside the right goal post. His 5th goal of the playoffs. Denis Potvin brings the Islanders within 1 of the Boston Bruins. 2-1 now. 16:03 remaining in the second period as the Islanders get on the scoreboard.
The 5th playoff goal for Denis Potvin comes at 3:57. Now Goring is at center between Nystrom and Tonelli for the Islanders. Fergus between Dufour and Bruce Crowder for the Bruins. Draw came back to Park in the Boston defense. Gave it to Fergus. Fergus over the Islander line was checked by Tomas Jonsson, and Goring feeds it across neatly to Nystrom. Bobby Nystrom steps into the Boston zone. Played it around the boards. Tonelli and Park tie up one another. Goring sneaks in behind Park, jabbing at it. Got it to Tonelli, who was down on his knees. He had a broken stick in his hand, drops it, and Nystrom tried to put it out in front. Picked off and turned by Fergus. And Bruce Crowder dumps it right back into his own zone. They've got a delayed offside in effect here. Park across to Melnick. The Bruins with a chance to move it out, and they do with a pass to Dufour that goes off his stick. And the Bruins are going to be called for icing the puck. A break in the action. We have 15 minutes and 20 seconds left in the second period. The score, Bruins 2, Islanders 1. Jiggs McDonald with Ed Westfall here at the Boston Garden, waiting for a face-off to the left of the Bruins set. We're taking another informal telephone poll tonight. If you weren't with us at the beginning of the game, we'll tell you about it in a few minutes. So get a pencil handy for phone numbers if you would like to participate. Voice your opinion. Kluzak with the puck for Boston. Checked by Brent Sutter. Bourne picks it up. Bourne back to Morrow. His shot blocked in front of the net. Keith Crowder takes over. Crowder to McNabb. Back to Crowder. Down the right wing. Gave it to Peter McNabb at the blue line. Trying to cut to the left. Centers. Broken up in front, and out comes Tomas Jonsson. 3-on-2 as they come over the center ice stripe. Jonsson to Brent Sutter, but he was offside.
The little Sutter step, the hesitation throws the wingers offside. A 3-on-2 break for the Islanders, nullified at the blue line.
Our question tonight for the informal telephone poll: should National Hockey League teams play only within their own conference during the regular season? In other words, the teams in the Adams Division and the Patrick Division play for the entire 80 games. Let the teams out in the Western conferences, the Campbell Conference, play amongst themselves. Stand by for some telephone numbers as we watch O'Connell from back of the net. Down in by Potvin, his shot went wide. Krushelinski poked it loose. Keith Crowder gave it to Kluzak. Kluzak left side to Krushelinski. Out into center ice, there's Potvin. Poke to the head. Brent Sutter ran into Krushelinski. Now Duane Sutter got it to the Boston zone. It's shot across the line by Brent. Hit something and came right back out to center and tipped into the Islander end of the ice. Danny Potvin, who has the Islander goal, uses the right wing for Duane Sutter. He was hit hard by Melnick. There's Brad Park with the puck. Peterson on the right side dumps it into the Islander zone. Gordy Lane with it back of the net. Lane up the middle to Trottier. Trottier turns. Headed into center ice to Bossy. Bossy to Kallur. Steps in over the line. Drop pass to Lane, and he was checked by Gillis. Now Trottier goes in after the puck. Can't get a stick on it, and Gillis clears it. Long pass, offside. No, it's waved off. But Potvin is able to clear it back into the Boston zone. Here's Park. Peterson to Middleton on right wing. Middleton a drive. Billy Smith got the stick in front of it, and Lane hustles back. Gordy Lane pulling the puck, and we've got a penalty call. The Islanders will be shorthanded. 13:34 left in the second period. A break in the action with our score. Boston Bruins 2, New York Islanders 1.
Penalty of the hockey game. An interference call on Mike Bossy. Down goes the Bruins. The arm of Bruce Hood goes into the air, and Bossy is in the penalty box.
Interference is called. The time 6:26 of the second period. Killing it off, Morrow and Jonsson on defense. Goring and Billy Carroll, the forwards. We watch Park. Right the right side for Peterson. Carroll stepped in front of him. Peterson got the puck over to Middleton on left wing. In front of Fergus, and it went behind him. Bourque comes in off the right point. And into a check from Carroll, and Butch Goring picked up the puck and cleared it down the ice.
Alert play by Ken Morrow, Jiggs. He broke up the 2-on-1 break.
Park tries it again. A half a minute gone in their power play. Bourque, long pass off the boards to Fergus. Fergus chased behind the net, knocked down by Morrow, and Jonsson rings it around the boards and down the ice. Pete Peters cuts it off for Park. Waits for Bourque to come back. Starts the play. Park elects to carry it out himself into center ice. Over the center ice stripe. Tried the left side to Peterson, but he was offside. Now those telephone numbers. If you think the teams should play within their own conference during the regular season, a yes vote would go to 900-720-2660. If you say no, continue to play with the unbalanced schedule, all 21 teams playing one another. Area code 900-720-2666. We'll have the results for you at the end of the game tonight. There is a 50-cent charge for each call. Vote as often as you like. Express your opinion. And we'll see what the fans have to say at the conclusion of tonight's game. A false start at the face-off, and they'll line up again.
The thing about the Islanders, Jiggs, they get behind, they get ahead, they play the same kind of hockey, or they'll attempt to play the same kind of hockey for 60 minutes.
We watch Bourque playing it back to O'Connell. O'Connell. Heath Crowder was checked, and the Bruins send Bourque back into his own zone. Ray Bourque starts out on the right side. Back to McNabb. To Bourque. The pass to the right wing was behind O'Connell, and he is able to shoot it around the boards. Billy Smith steered it back of the net to Lane. Lane hit there by Bourque. Goring clears it back of the net. Peterson gives it to McNabb. McNabb into the corner for Bourque. Steered back to the boards by Gordy Lane. Bourque to Peterson. Tipped it to the right side to O'Connell. O'Connell to drive. Smith got a piece of it. McNabb takes it back of the goal. Looks for somebody in front. Gave it to Peterson. To Bourque from the blue line. His shot blocked in front of the net, and Goring fires it down the ice. That'll do it in the penalty against Bossy as the Islanders are back at full strength now. 2-1. Boston leading. 11.5 minutes remaining in the second period. O'Connell to Keith Crowder to Krushelinski to Crowder, who is falling. Smith covers up on the puck and holds it for a face-off. They're going to break in the action with 11:21 left in the second period, and the score remains. Bruins 2, Islanders face-off to the left of the Islander goal. Trottier on the draw against Fergus. Trottier won the face-off. Nystrom on the right side, unable to clear it out. Now plays it back behind the net to Jonsson. Jonsson gave it to Merrick. Merrick played it off Fergus, and here's Park at center ice. Brad Park shooting it into the Islander end of the ice. Thomas Jonsson goes back. Trottier comes to the bench and is replaced by Tonelli. Bruce Crowder. Shot was blocked. Kluzak in off the left point, and his shot went wide of the net. Bounces off the boards, picked up by Park. Brad Park checked by Wayne Merrick. Loose puck. Park recovered, pulled it away from Tonelli. Park to Krushelinski. Down the left side. Long shot at the Islander line. Hit Kenny Morrow. Morrow chopping at it. Can't get it out of his own zone. Krushelinski falling. Lost the puck, and here's Jonsson. Thomas Jonsson works it to the center ice strike. Kluzak to Krushelinski. Puts it into the Islander zone. Thomas Jonsson hustles back. Used the left side with a pass for Tonelli. Comes over center ice. Gave it to Nystrom. Nystrom around Krushelensky. Then was checked on the play. And Melnick has cleared it around the boards to Bruce Crowder. Bruce Crowder shot knocked out of the air by Potvin. To Nystrom to Tonelli. Works his way over the line. Lost the puck as he ran into Melnick. And here's Park. Off the boards for Bruce Crowder. Nystrom steps into him. It was Nystrom who went down. And now Crowder goes over top of him. Meantime, Potvin picks up the puck back in the Islander goal. Got it to Trottier. Trottier to Gord Lane. Bouncing puck to contend with. Lane brings it in across the line. Melnick took a run at him. Bossy and Lane battling for it, but it's been frozen on the boards. We're going to face off to the left. Pete Peters.
Tempo stays in the hockey game. Good tempo. Good skating. There we take a look. Wayne Cashman, not dressed for tonight's game. One of only 2 players. Still what you might say semi-active in the National Hockey League as players. Left from the last Boston Bruins Stanley Cup team. Carroll Badney is the other one. Had limited action with the New Jersey Devils. Bob Nystrom lined up Bruce Crowder. Crowder took the check gracefully and put Nystrom to the ice.
Now Trottier centers for Bossy and Kallur. Draw won by the Bruins. Middleton dropping it back to Melnick. Left side for Mike Gillis. Gillis, a long pass to Middleton to the Islander line. Checked there by Potvin. Loose puck for Kallur. Kallur over center ice. Across the Boston line. The zigzag pattern. Here's Bossy with a shot. That's one off the inside of Melnick's leg. Kallur can't regain control of it. Melnick on the limp as Gillis moves it to center to Peterson. Peterson over the line. Gave it to Middleton. It was knocked away from him. Controlled by Trottier. Out of Kallur. Kallur dumps it in wide of Pete Peters. Bossy went in after it. Tried to set up Kallur, who was too well covered in front of the net. This is Middleton. Middleton to the line and hopped over the stick of Michael McEwen, so Morrow goes back. We have 9 minutes remaining in this, the second period. Morrow right side. Wayne Sutter. Couldn't set up Brent Sutter. Palmer gets to the Islander line. Up there by Brent Sutter. Duane and Keith Crowder bang together. Palmer up with the puck. Gave it to Keith Crowder. Centers it out in front. Bourque was checked there by Bourne, and there's a penalty call coming. A cab shot blocked by Billy Smith, and as Wayne Sutter picks it up, the whistle sounds. Taking a hooking penalty, setting up a Boston power play. Bourne goes to the bench. There's a break in the action. The score, Bruins 2, Islanders 1.
Boston Bruins forces the Islanders to take a penalty. Right there, Bob Bourne on Ray Bourque. An interference penalty. So the Bruins go to the attack with a power play once again.
This is their 4th chance of the night. The Bruins are 1 of 3 with an advantage. The Islanders are 1 of 4 on their power play. Bruins hold it in at the line. Here's Park with a shot. Billy Smith the save, and the big rebound was up in the air. Keith Crowder tied up by Tomas Jonsson. Krushelensky peels off the board. Trying to put it out in front. That hit Morrow, and Goring slapped it quickly to Trottier. Trottier into center ice. Dropped it to Goring. Comes over the Boston line with a drive. Peters the save. Didn't know where it was for a moment. And then backed away a little bit. And the puck is right there in front of him.
He got down underneath his goalie pads, Jiggs. He could not see the puck. His knees were flexed outwardly towards center ice. The puck lay back in toward his feet where he couldn't see it. Here's the shot by Goring. The puck trickled down between his knees. He looked behind and couldn't see it. There's the pass. Trottier to Goring. He unleashed a hard shot. Peters momentarily lost it. Bourque covers in front of him, making sure that Butch Goring doesn't get another whack at it.
Now Goring and Fergus on this face-off. Tried to play it across to Billy Carroll, but it hit Park. Here's Bourque behind the net. Bourque had 11 shots on goal in the first game of the series. Was held without a shot in the opening period tonight. That's Fergus pouring it after the puck. Peterson put it out in front right to Billy Carroll, and the Islanders have cleared it. 1 minute and 15 seconds left in the penalty time against Bourne. Ray Bourque waits for his teammates to come back. Peterson, Fergus, and Middleton are the forwards. Park and Bourque on defense. That's Park across to Middleton. Into the Islanders' zone. Left it for Fergus. Lane faces him to the corner. Came back to Middleton. Ricky Middleton goes round behind the net. Trying to get away from Potvin's check now. Gives it to Park. To Middleton. Once more to Park. To the side of the net, and the backhander goes high and wide. Bounces around to Bourque. Bourque tried to put it off in front. It bounced up on Billy Smith. He scooped it up and held it for a face-off. Little more movement in the power play tonight, Eddie, but not as much as you would expect from the Bruins.
A lot better than it was, Jiggs. And one of the things they're doing, when you see Peter McNabb on the ice, he's parking himself, putting a dime in the meter, standing in front of Billy Smith. He's a hard man to move. He's a big man, 6'3", over 200 pounds. And when he's not out there, Tom Fergus is out there doing the same thing, creating a little havoc in front of Billy Smith so that the point men can get a chance to take shots, screen shots from the point.
Now they have Keith Crowder out there. As again, you look at Jerry Cheevers. Peterson will take the face-off for Boston against Bryan Trottier. 40 seconds remaining in the penalty against Bourne. John D'Amico, the linesman, taking a little time. Now drops the puck. Trottier pulled it back to Morrow. Around the boards, it's held in by O'Connell. O'Connell to Middleton. Middleton went to center, one that hit Morrow, and Trottier shoots it down the ice.
He faked a shot. Jiggs changed his mind. Rick Middleton. Whenever you change your mind, you usually do the wrong thing. Lost the puck.
Here's O'Connell sending Middleton into the Islanders' zone. Couldn't set up Keith Crowder, who had cut through in front of the net, and Morrow slaps it to the line. It hit Bourque. They ruled they held it in, but couldn't control it. Billy Carroll comes over the Boston line. Goring moves in with him. Carroll unable to make the play as Bourque ties him in a knot. And they finally have frozen it on the boards long enough for a face-off, but it used up some precious seconds in Bourne's penalty.
It did, Jiggs, and if you think about it, there were 3 Bruins after Billy Carroll. He was able to fend them off, hang on to the puck, control it long enough, kill the time, and get the face-off in the Boston Bruins end of the ice.
Just saw Bob Bourne communicating with the Islander bench. Gets the word from Al Arbour that he'll stay on the ice once his penalty has expired, as the Islander coach sends Brent Sutter in to take the face-off. That'll be the 2 Sutters and Bourne in 4 seconds' time. Krushelinski on the draw, comes over to Dufour. Now back to Kluzak, and the teams are at 6 aside. Kluzak moves it off the boards, held in by Lane. Around behind the net to Duane Sutter, to Brent. He's tied up by O'Connell. Krushelinski moves over. Krushelinski trying to come up left wing, tips it into center ice. Bruce Crowder chasing it. Overcame Potvin. Pokes it out to center ice. Kluzak picks it up. Left it there for Bruce Crowder. The Dufour. He's checked by Lane. The puck remains in the Islander zone, however. Potvin and Bruce Crowder tie it back of the net. Brent Sutter got it to Duane Sutter. Krushelinski on top of him in a hurry. Dufour goes to the corner, is bumped by Lane. And up comes Duane Sutter to Brent Sutter. Warren peels off in the left wing, takes the pass, comes over the line, working on O'Connell. Goes round behind the net, gave it to Duane Sutter. Out in front, Potvin was checked from behind at the last second as he cruised in from the blue line. Krushelinski now backhands it into the center right zone. Dufour races after it into the Islander end of the ice. Went to the backhand, and Smith made the save, then covers up on the puck. A break in the action, 5.5 minutes to play. Period 2 is Boston the score. Bruins 2, Islanders. There's an opportunity just a moment ago on the Boston end of the ice. Watch Denny Potvin come in late from the blue line as Bourne, Duane Sutter, and Brent Sutter. And Swain with the puck. Potvin just got enough of him. He cruised right up the slot. Jonsson deep in the Islanders zone, unable to clear it out. McNabb for the Bruins, puts it out in front, right to the stick of Bossy. Out of Goring. Goring, Trottier, and Bossy come over the line. Trottier moves into the corner to pick it up, gave it to Bossy. Peters reached out to knock it away from him. Now Morrow at the right point. The Bossy is dragged down from behind. Keith Crowder sat on top of the puck, and we get a whistle.
Islanders would like nothing better, Jiggs, than to get a goal here before the end of the second period. 5:13 remaining. The rush by Goring. Bryan Trottier, and at the top of your screen, Bossy come in. He's a right-hand shot. He had to go to the backhand to try and make a play, but the stick of the puck came together, but it was the point of the stick. Very difficult to make a shot from that position on the backhand with the puck coming directly at him.
Usual game for Mike Bossy tonight. A couple of penalties. You seldom see that in a season, let alone 2 periods of a hockey game. Henning chased back to the goal. Penalty call against Brad Park. He pulled the feet out from under Trottier, and you see where he ended up, right there, nose to nose with Bruce Hood.
No question that Bruce Hood would have to call the penalty, Jake. Trottier, went quickly behind the net in pursuit of the puck carrier. Park cut him down. He knows knows it. He's more mad at himself for doing it than he is at the referee for calling it. But he's in there anyway, and the opportunity is now going to the Islanders on the power play.
Well, the only Islander goal tonight came via the power play, and we'll take a look at it again.
Dennis Potvin, his give-and-go play with Bryan Trottier. A power play goal. That perfectly placed shot right on the ice inside the right goal post. We look again at that shot that Peters could not get to quick enough.
And Potvin is out there playing the left point with McEwen. Here's the reason for the Islander power play is Park knocked Trottier down. Trottier and Peterson on this face-off. Bruins got the draw. Bourque slaps it around the boards. McEwen at the near point. Checked there by Krushelinski. Quite a battle for it. Kallur got it loose. But it's finally cleared, and Krushelinski gets a break down the left side. Over comes Potvin. Steers them wide. They end up on the boards together, and McEwen comes back to the puck. McEwen sends Trottier into center ice. Kallur takes the pass in the left wing. Can't get it back to Trottier. It's loose, and O'Connell takes a look. Gives it to Krushelinski. Will slap it down the ice high and over top of the Islander net. 4.5 minutes to play in the second period. Here's Potvin. Potvin missed Kallur with the pass. Peters didn't play the puck. Brent Sutter comes in after. Touched it first. Thus no icing against the Islanders. Bruce Hood was knocked down. Brent Sutter trying to put it out in front. Bossy got it to Kallur. Around to the far corner for Mike Bossy. Gives it to Potvin. Back to Bossy. Quite a screen in front of the net. Bossy can't get a shot away, and the puck went to Middleton. Middleton to Palmer. Down the left side into the Islanders' zone. Palmer shot. Smith the save. The Palmer kid can shoot the puck. That was one of the great attributes he had with Minnesota, and it's brought over here to Boston. Potvin slaps it around the boards. 42 seconds left in this power play. Bourne unable to center it. Now gets it to Brent Sutter. Back to Bourne. Comes off the boards trying to make the play. Gave it to McEwen. McEwen to Bourne. Off his stick. O'Connell clears it ahead to Middleton. Middleton slows up the play a little. Comes over center ice into the Islanders' zone. It's checked there by Michael McEwen. Kluzak works it back to the goal. There's McEwen. Peterson in forechecking. Forced McEwen to turn. Moves it up the right side to Duane Sutter. Sutter into the Boston zone. Kluzak wrote him off the play, and the puck is strung loose. Peterson chases it down the right wing. Peterson trying to set one up. His shot, he scores! Another shorthanded goal for the Boston Bruins.
Tremendous drive by Peterson into the lower left-hand corner. He fooled Billy Smith. Smith had his weight all planted on his left foot, and the puck quickly shot right by the right side of Billy Smith. Here's Peterson using O'Connell as a screen, and there's the drive. Smith reached out to the last second, but he was not quick enough. The hard drive of Peterson has given the Boston Bruins a 2-goal lead. They regain that 2-goal lead.
There's Peterson at the Boston bench, and the crowd with a standing ovation for he and his Bruin teammates. Peterson at 16:51, 1 second left in the penalty to Park. Palmer had scored shorthanded with Fergus in the box back in the first period. That's Peterson's 12th playoff goal this year. Now the teams are at 6 aside, but it's a 3-1 Boston lead. Eddie Morrow shoots one around the boards in the Bruins zone. Park goes after it, but it's offside. He'll face off in the center ice zone. Well, there's a new general manager in the National Hockey League today. The Montreal Canadiens have named their general manager, and we'll have a report on that on our second intermission coming up from the Boston Garden.
Momentum goal for the Boston Bruins, Jiggs. Timing couldn't be better. Short-handed goal near the end of the period.
We watch Tomas Jonsson take the puck from Billy Smith, set it to the right side to Nystrom. Nystrom can't get over the center ice stripe. Dufour lost it to Goring. Out to Tonelli, who ran into referee Bruce Hood, knocking him down. Bruce Crowder is checked by Nystrom. Goring takes the turn at the Islander blue line. Very familiar score on the board. 2 of the games this season between the two teams ended this way, 3-1 favor of Boston. We still have the balance of this period and another 20 minutes remaining in regulation time. Jonsson gives it to Morrow. Kenny Morrow up the right wing to Nystrom. Trying to get away from Dufour. Dropped it back to Tomas Jonsson over center ice. Jonsson shoots it around Bourque. Peters out of the net. Clears it to the right wing side. Tomas Jonsson slowed up the play a little. Got the puck to Tonelli. Out in front. All the way back to the line for Gordy Lane. Winds up for a shot. Peters the pad save. Goring can't set up Tonelli. Nystrom races to the corner. Shovels it back to Lane at the point. Gordy Lane's drive. Tipped in front and went wide. Bruce Crowder, slaps it out of there down into the Islanders' zone. And the Bruins will be called here for having iced the puck.
Pressure by the Boston Bruins. Pressure they had put on during the power play until with 1 second remaining in the penalty to Park. Peterson gets his 12th goal to make it 3-1. The Islanders are back working hard in Boston's end of the ice. That'll make the Bruins feel much happier, Jake, that they can leave this period with that 3-1 score. They're right back to where they were with a 2-goal lead.
Ball start at the face-off. They'll line up again in the circle to the right. Yes, a key goal, all right, for the Bruins. Peter McNabb ready to take the face-off, number 8, against the Islanders' number 19, Bryan Trottier. McNabb falling, able to get the puck over to O'Connell, and he dumps it down inside the Islanders' zone. Potvin hustles back. Johnny Potvin, who has the only Islander goal, gave it to Kallur. Kallur to Trottier across the line. Good pass to Bossy. Moves in. Shoots. Peters the save. Bossy goes after the rebound. Gave it to Potvin. To Kallur. He's checked from behind. Held in by Potvin. His shot is blocked. O'Connell for the Bruins. Gave it to Krushelinski at center ice. Krushelinski flips it up in the air right to Billy Smith as the Bruins make a player change. Here's Trottier starting out. And Trottier to Potvin. Potvin into center ice to Kallur, but a 2-line pass negates that play. Exactly 60 seconds remaining in the second period.
Mike O'Connell, a native Chicagoan, played for the Chicago Blackhawks. Traded to the Boston Bruins in what was considered a pretty one-sided trade at one time. Turned out to be a very even trade. Al Secord, now a 40-goal scorer for Chicago, was traded to Chicago for Mike O'Connell.
Chicago and Edmonton are idle until Sunday night in the other semifinal series. Edmonton leading 2-0, and they've really outscored Chicago by a wide margin, 18-6 in the first 2 games at Edmonton. 16-6, excuse me. Let's not make it any worse than it was. Park being bothered by Bourne. They tie it up on the boards. Gillis kicks it loose and went right to Tomas Jonsson. Now to Duane Sutter, to Brent Sutter. Comes over the line. Drop pass. Morrow is shot off the glove hand. They drive it again toward the net. It was blocked by Peters. Here's Park. Up to Peterson, too far. Bourne to Brent Sutter, to Duane Sutter. Pulls it around the goaltender and backhanded it over the crossbar. Bob Bourne and Peterson tie it up. It comes loose for Brent Sutter. Back to the point, but it's intercepted by Middleton. Middleton out to center ice. Some shoving and pushing going on in front of the Boston goal as Peters took it from the Duane Sutter. The whistle is sounded. Boston puts the puck in the net at the other end. And now Peters still trying to get his licks in on the Sutter brothers. Bourque has a hold of Brent. Or Duane, excuse me. Brent is being restrained by Brad Park. And referee Bruce Hood will have some penalties here. But Peters finally got his licks in. 2 seconds left in the period.
A lot of action around Boston's net, Jake, but the puck was at the other end of the ice. Brad Park, Duane Sutter, Brent Sutter, Peters, then Bourne. All moved in. Peters got a couple of free shots at Duane Sutter. Park had Brent Sutter tied up.
See what kind of calls we get. Bruins have moved into the Islander end of the ice. We're looking at that now.
Ken Morrow, Middleton. There's the goal. I don't know whether the whistle blew or not.
Oh, yeah, the referee was
back here, I was going to say, because Bruce Hood was back almost inside the Boston Bruins blue line when the play was down at Billy Smith and his net. Here's the action in front. You see Peters give Sutter a swat as Bourque pushed him back in. Peters gets a couple more whacks at him. Sutter gives a little stick. Boom. I think that shot by Peters caught one of his own players.
Now the team starts this third period at 5 aside as Wayne Sutter and Pete Peters have roughing penalties to set out. The Islanders have their play broken up, and O'Connell gets in across the line. A weak shot steered aside by Billy Smith to Denny Potvin. It is 3-1 Boston. Bob Bourne over center ice. Cuts to the left. Goes up the play, then fires one wide. As Peterson ricocheted out in front, Kallur couldn't get a stick on it. And Middleton dumps it up the left side. Here's Peterson leaving it for Bourque. Ray Bourque. Kallur forechecked the puck away from him. Gives it to Jonsson, who blows it on the right side. Back to Kallur. His shot's right on. Stick hand saved by Peters. Out comes O'Connell for Boston. Into the Islander zone with a slap shot that hit McEwen. Ends up in the corner. Peterson checked there by Trottier. Bryan Trottier can't get away from Middleton. Jonsson steps in front of him. The puck went to Peterson. McEwen cut him off, and there's Trottier with it again. Bryan Trottier left it for McEwen. Back to Trottier on the right side and hopped off his stick. Bossy moves up, knocked it away from Krushelinski. He recovers for a drive. Smith is dazzling stop. Trottier tied up Krushelinski, and there's Bossy with it. Back to Bryan Trottier. 40 seconds remaining in the double penalties. Morrow starts up the right side for the Islanders. Across to McEwen, in and out of his skates. Back goes Brad Park. Park comes out in front of his own goal. Leads the rush smartly into center ice with a pass to Keith Crowder. Crowder checked by Potvin. The puck went loose. Brent Sutter gets a stick on it. Around to Bossy on right wing. Mike Bossy into center ice. Into the Boston zone. Right into Kluzak. Leads it across to Potvin, who had to knock it out of the air. Potvin to Brent Sutter. Sutter trying to center. A couple of Bruins converge on him. Kluzak and Keith Crowder. Bossy dug it loose. Back to Potvin at the blue line. Potvin to Morrow. Any Morrow shot. Peters to save. It was jabbed loose by Brent Sutter, but went right to the Bruins. And the teams are at 6 aside again. Gillis playing it off the skates of Krushelinski. Potvin clears it to Bossy. Lost it. Gillis comes in over the line. Mike Gillis moves in deep. Can't center it as Morrow knocks him down. Gillis recovered the puck. Was unable to center it. Here's Potvin giving it to Brent Sutter. Brent Sutter had his pass blocked. Got in on the left side. The Bruins trying to move in deep. And it was drilled wide by Bruce Crowder. Brent Sutter leads it to the blue line. O'Connell picks it up outside the line, however. Gave it to Melnick. Left side to Dufour. Comes over the line. His shot went wide of the Islander net. Bruce Crowder plays it around to the opposite corner for Dufour. He is checked there by Morrow, and now Nystrom unable to move it out. Potvin gets a stick on it. There's it up the right wing. Fergus chases it. Down Fergus to Bruce Crowder. The Dufour is drive. Smith blocks it, then covers up on the puck. A break in the action. We have 16 minutes and 58 seconds left in the third period with the score. The Bruins 3 and the Islanders 1.
When his team's ahead, he looks like that. When his team's behind, he looks like that. Consistent. He doesn't always look that calm. He's not always that calm.
Bourque from the face-off, testing Billy Smith with a low shot. McEwen trying to clear it up the left side. In and out of the skates of Bourne. McEwen with it again. Goes round behind the net with a pass for Lane. Gordy Lane to Bob Nystrom. Lost it. Peterson backhanding it into the Islanders zone. McEwen chases the puck. The ice is still a little wet. We played 2.5, make it 3.5 minutes of this third period as Goring got it to the Boston line. Melnick turned and knocked it away from Nystrom and has played it to center ice. Gordy Lane knocks it away from Peterson, and here is John Tonelli handling the puck. Now to Goring, knocked off his stick at the blue line. McNabb moves up quickly. Was pushed by McEwen. No offside call as McNabb moved into the Islanders zone. Lane takes him off the puck, and there's Nystrom with it. Around to the left side for Tonelli. Tonelli hammered by Keith Crowder, and McEwen has cleared it up the right side for Nystrom. McNabb intercepts. Here's Krushelinski off the left side, and he shot it wide. Bourque blows in off the right side. He shoots it way wide of Billy Smith, and Nystrom takes over. Lost the puck momentarily, recovered in time to take it to the corner, then plays it to the opposite corner. John Tonelli, Goring off his stick, and Tonelli again is flattened by Keith Crowder as Nystrom moves in. His shot was blocked, and it bounces out to center ice. Keith Crowder tips it in over the Islander line. Jonsson back. It's help from Lane and Merrick, and Jonsson covers up back of the goal. Krushelinski ready to do battle as the whistle is sound. No, it hasn't sounded. Everybody slowed up a little, and Merrick races into the Boston end of the ice. Unable to center the puck. Went back to the goal. Is knocked down by O'Connell. O'Connell with the puck. He's checked by Nystrom. Greg Gilbert moves in, but play has been called, and there will be a face-off to the right. Pete Peters. There's a break in the action at the Boston Garden. Our score, the Bruins 3, the Islanders 1.
An effective player for the Boston Bruins. We saw him sneak down the alley heading for the dressing room. Peter McNabb has played well for the Bruins tonight. He is headed for the dressing room.
The Islanders without Stefan Persson tonight. Paul Boutilier is stressed, but he's been on the end of the bench for the entire game. Puck held in at the Boston line. Merrick to Duane Sutter. Dumped it back of the goal. It's picked up there by Park. To the near side, Jonsson steps in front of Crowder. Got it to Merrick. Playing Merrick, bumped by Melnick. Here's Gilbert at the back of the net. Trying to pull it away from Fergus, who's all over top of him. Gilbert goes the other way. Got it to Duane Sutter. And now the whistle has sounded.
The linesman blew the whistle, Jiggs. It's a hand pass. When Greg Gilbert went down, the puck made contact with his hand, and Duane Sutter picked up the puck, resulting in a stoppage of play.
Your old buddy, the goaltender there, who's now the coach of the Bruins, was out at the racetrack yesterday. So my spies tell me, but that's not news, is it?
Suffolk Town. He used to own Train, thoroughbred.
What was that horse that he was so high on?
It was a good horse. I think it came up lame, and I can't remember the name of it, not being a great follow of the horse flesh.
You watch Trottier go back in the Boston goal, put it right through the goal mouth, and he was hauled down. We're going to get a penalty against Kluzak. He'll go off for a holding. He'd taken a couple of cross-checking penalties earlier in the game. There's a break in the action now. The Islanders going to the power play with the score. Bruins 3, Islanders 1.
Trying to kill off the penalty.
Trottier won the draw, but Krushelinski moved up and tipped it into the Islanders' zone. Jonsson back quickly, got it to Bossy. Over center ice. Snaps one in, it was right into the catching glove, and Peters went to clear it out. It hit Park, bounced back of the net. There's Bossy, unable to stuff it in from the short side. And the Bruins regain control and dump it down the ice.
Close call, Jiggs. Peters mishandled the puck again. Bossy almost put it right in behind him.
Now a minute remaining in this power play. Potvin off to Bourne. Over the Boston line. Maintains control of it. Gave it to Bossy in front of Trottier, and he tipped it wide. Bourne knocked down by Bourque. The puck came out in front of the Bruin goal and picked up on the near side by Krushelinski, who's cleared it into the Islander end of the ice.
Close call. Bob Bourne right between the two defensemen. Too many passes by the Islanders again. Cost them another opportunity.
35 seconds left in the power play as Potvin got over the line. Gave it to Bossy. Bossy unable to set up Jonsson. He was knocked down by Park. The puck comes back on the wing. Jonsson moves in on the boards. Got it to Bossy. It's knocked away from him. Up the right side comes Palmer. Palmer a drive. That hit Potvin and went wide of the net. Billy Smith up to clear it ahead for Duane Sutter. Twisting and turning. Forced deeper into his own zone. Sutter comes off the boards. 10 seconds remaining in the power play. Now to Brent Sutter on the right side. Slaps it around the boards. Peters lets it go. Tomas Jonsson unable to make the play, and the Bruins have killed off the penalty. 3-1 Boston lead. The Islanders back in their own zone. We have just over 12 minutes to play in the third period. McEwen up the left side for Brent Sutter. Over center ice to the Boston line. Tonelli picks up the puck, waiting for his teammates to make sure they're onside. Now comes in over the line to the pass to Duane Sutter. Back across, intended for Morrow, was broken up. Goring gathers it in at center ice. Gave it to McEwen. McEwen flips it into the Bruins zone, and Melnick hustles back. Peters again out of the net to clear it. This time to Dufour. Goring ties him up on the boards. The puck jabbed loose. Butch Goring to Morrow. Morrow shot right on. There's Nystrom. He bangs at it. Won't go into the net. And Peters down. Nystrom couldn't make contact. McEwen shot is deflected up into the seats. There's a break in the action. 11:33 left in the game. The score, Bruins 3, the Islanders 1.
He goes way past as the Islanders dig for the puck. Tonelli spears it loose to McEwen. To Morrow. There's the shot. Watch Bob Nystrom as he tries to free himself and get a shot at the open net with the puck. He can't get a hold of the puck. An effort thwarted by the Boston Bruins. A good chance for the Islanders.
I watched that replay. I didn't see any horseshoe, but there has to be one somewhere. Morrow put it right on McNabb's stick. He shoots, hits the post, and Billy Smith grabs it as it came off the post, and he's held on. McNabb back out after having gone to the Boston dressing room. Nearly blew this one wide open.
Close call this time at the Islanders' end of the ice. Peter McNabb, Ken Morrow, who's had a tough time tonight, handed it right to Peter McNabb. And here's what happened. McNabb let it go. It hit Billy Smith on the left arm. And the luck of Billy Smith, much like Tuesday night, after Bourque had scored and Peterson had scored to make it 4-2, Brad Park had let go. A shot deflected, went off the arm, the left arm of Billy Smith, and off the goalpost. Could have changed the game around. That one could have had a big effect on the Islanders in this hockey game.
Now Nystrom dumps it in wide of Peters. Back goes Bourque. Bourque failed to clear it out. Potvin moving in. He's checked by Peter McNabb. McNabb flips it off the boards. Now at the center ice. Picked up by Lane. To Goring. To Nystrom. Overskated the puck. Krushelinski for the Bruins has fed it ahead to Keith Crowder. Across to McNabb, but it's offside. We have 10 minutes and 44 seconds left in regulation time. That amount of time for you to get your call in to make your voice heard tonight on our informal telephone poll. The question, should National Hockey League teams play only within their own conference during the regular season? If you say yes, dial area code 900-720-2660. You say no, leave it the way it is. In other words, 720-2666.
You're seeing the shot again as Peter McNabb brings it off the arm of the goalpost to the left of Billy Smith.
Greg Gilbert is out with Kallur and Merrick for the Islanders. Merrick shot it in off Park. Melnick chases it. Melnick has to turn. The Bruins getting more people involved in this game tonight than they did in Game 1 on a consistent basis, at least. Wayne Merrick laid it around the boards. Gilbert steps in front of Park. Kicked it to Kallur out in front. Brent Sutter got a poke at it. Couldn't make contact, and the Bruins have dumped it up ahead to Peterson. Peterson comes over the line with Middleton. The play broken up. In quickly comes Gillis to Middleton. Couldn't get it on his stick. Three Islanders are on top of him in a hurry. Here's Peterson on the right side. Peterson around to Gillis. Gillis pulled it off the boards, put it off to the side of the net. It hit Middleton. Gillis got a stick on it again. Comes back to the goal. Gillis checked there by Tomas Jonsson. The puck went loose for Peterson. Peterson trying to center. There's Middleton tied up by Morrow. A loose puck. A scramble. There will be a penalty call. Now it's waved off as Peterson has put it in the net.
Tremendous pressure by the Bruins, and it pays off. Islanders sprawling, running in circles. The Bruins bang it in behind Billy Smith to go ahead 4-1. Just under 10 minutes remaining in the third period. And the Bruins have opened up with a 3-goal lead. There's the pass from behind the net by Peterson. There's the penalty on Middleton as he's dragged down. The puck is loose. Off to the side. Peterson wraps it in. Middleton, laying on the ice, was able to get the puck to him, and he put it in, making it 4-1. There's Middleton on the ice as he moved the puck to Peterson. Greg Gilbert fishes it out of the net. There's the arm in the air. Penalty being called. The loose puck. Middleton, you see him still working hard, sitting on the ice as he gets the puck to Peterson, as he has done so many times all season long. And he put it in. Peterson, his 13th goal of the season, or the playoff season, putting them ahead 4-1.
Couldn't arrive at the same time. The puck went loose, and Bossy stick handled. Can't get away. Middleton picked it up, gave it to Peterson. He shoots wide of the club side. Mike Bossy on the far side takes a look, plays it rink wide for Thomas Jonsson. Jonsson quickly to center ice, dumped it in wide. If Peterson came out to play it, fell, and was able to reach back and get control of it. That's how things have gone for him tonight.
He's guessed right. He's been sharp. Picked off a lot of loose pucks around his net. A moment ago, you saw Tomas Jonsson go behind his net and stop. Made a pass up the boards that went into the hands, onto the stick of the Boston Bruins at center ice. Now, normally the Islanders would have positioned their centerman up in the center at the blue line and made that clean, easy pass to that player. But that wasn't the case. There's the shot in by Tomas Jonsson that Peters took 2 stabs at before he could get the handle and hang on.
Pete Peters, 25 years of age. Somebody asked Jerry Cheevers about coaching this goaltender, and he said, heck, he's teaching me things.
Never stop learning, huh?
Yes, not.
First visit on the ice. Paul Boutilier on the left point.
He and Gord Lane out of the Islander defense. Nystrom, Tonelli, and Goring are the Islander forwards. Here's Goring back in his own zone. The pass to Boutilier was in his skates, picked up now by John Tonelli. Tonelli comes over the line. Lost it momentarily, recovered, slipped in around one check, and then Fergus bumps it down into the Islander zone. Paul Boutilier will pick it up. Boutilier up the left side. Off the boards, off O'Connell as well. The Bruins are chased back into their own zone. Melnick bumped by Tonelli, who backed into him. Goring in forechecking, but the puck has been frozen for a faceoff. Break in the action here. 7:06 left. Our score, the Boston Bruins 4, the New York Islanders 1. All set for a faceoff to the right of Peters. Goring has been asked to leave, so has Peterson, so John Tonelli will take the draw. It'll be Mike Krushelinski for Boston. He opened up the scoring tonight back at 3:05 of the opening period. The Bruins have never trailed. Boutilier's shot went off Krushelinski. Out into center ice. Boutilier clears it to the right wing, taken there by Nystrom. Folded back around Peterson into his own zone, and now to Boutilier. John Tonelli. Tonelli couldn't get into the Boston area. Now Kluzak moves it up the wing, this time to Krushelinski. He and Lane bump together. McNabb in after the puck, and Billy Smith goes out of the net. Smith up the left side for Tonelli. Plays it rink wide to Nystrom. Takes it off the boards. Kluzak came over on Nystrom, and there's McNabb as well. The puck sprung loose, and Krushelinski failed to clear it out. Gordy Lane knocked it down. Now the Bruins get it into the center ice zone, and Boutilier picks it up. All Boutilier checking out his options. Goes to the line. His shot went off Park. Nystrom goes in, but Peters out of the net, plays it to the opposite side to Krushelinski. Let it go. Tonelli holds it at the blue line. Around the boards, it'll be picked up by Nystrom. Bobby Nystrom trying to put it out in front of the net. Can't do it. Puck is loose in the far corner for Mike Krushelinski. Now to Peterson. 2-on-1 with Crowder. Boutilier back. Peterson moves in off left wing. Center. Boutilier broke up the pass. All Boutilier feeds it to Tonelli on left wing. Tonelli, a long slap shot. Glove saved by Peters. Dropped it for Melnick. There's Melnick moving it to the line. Controlled by Brent Sutter. Wayne Sutter was in on the right side. Bourne comes in offside on the left. 5:37 left in regulation time. Your last.
More talent in this hockey game than they did in the first one. Some of them didn't get to play very much. Some of them just played a lot better.
Potvin just shot one wide. Trottier put it out in front. It hopped off the stick of Bossy, and the Bruins cleared, but not out. Here's Kallur. And there's Kallur trying to move in around Kluzak. Gave it to Trottier. Trottier goes back to the net. The pass to Kallur. In front to Bossy, who was too well covered. Jonsson in from the point. Cleared it around the boards. There's Kluzak. Didn't get it out. Thomas Jonsson to Bossy. Mike Bossy trying to work it deep to the corner, and that didn't work. Gillis feeds it up to Peterson over the Islander line with a drive and hit Potvin. Thomas Jonsson takes it out of the far corner. Slipped the check. Got it to the line where it hit Peterson. Now Gillis and Jonsson bump together, and Trottier brings it to center ice. Back there by Fergus. Gillis slapping it back into the Islander zone. The Bruins in the middle of player changes, so Potvin takes over for the Islanders. Potvin up to Merrick, has just come out on the ice. Merrick across the line. Wayne Merrick shot. Peters the save. Wayne Sutter moved in, but couldn't get there in time, and the Bruins get a break. 2-4 down left wing. Long shot handled by Billy Smith. Gordy Lane swings back of the Islander goal. Lane ahead for Gilbert too far. Park is checked. Here's a chance for Gilbert as he comes over the line. Checked as Park got up with him. Brad Park up the left side. Out into center ice. Fergus over the Islander line with a shot. Glove saved by Billy Smith. Smith played it to the corner. Fergus tied up there, and Gord Lane has given it to Duane Sutter. He and Merrick move into center ice. Merrick back to Sutter. Went behind him, and the Bruins control it again. Dufour flipped it high in the air into the Islander zone. Boutilier picks it up, but they ruled the blade had made contact with it with a high stick, and thus a whistle.
A long 3 minutes coming up for the New York Islanders. The squeeze of the Boston Bruins recognized as a stingy team. They've done it again here tonight, as they did to so many teams all season long.
Bruins 28-6-6 at home, the best home record in the league this year. Second best on the road, 22-14-4. The Islanders were number 3 at home, number 6 on the road over the 80-game season. The Islanders in forechecking. They're down by 3 with time running out. Nystrom trying to get in around Melnick. But a battle going on in front of the net. Watch Nystrom and Melnick trying to come off the boards. Help from Tonelli, but it's finally frozen, and now a couple of punches are exchanged. Bushelinsky grabbed a hold of Nystrom from behind, and then he is pushed down. McDonald and Nystrom exchanging some words. Referee Bruce Hood will be forced to call some penalties.
Hodges trying to get cooler heads to prevail. Frustration on the side of the Islanders. They haven't been able to execute the things that they wanted to. Stymied, held. Can't get it going. Frustrating feeling for some players. For some, it affects them more than others. Bobby Nystrom loves to win. Always works hard in that direction. There's Nystrom as he wrestles with Melnick along the board. Trying to push each other off the puck. Players get tired. Look at the right hand as he mauls at Melnick. Nystrom trying to give him a little extra from that position. He is gone from the hockey game.
Young Bruin fan with the Ed Westfall haircut.
I wish I had that kind of hair. Held his cool and been effective as an Islander throughout this hockey game. There's the chop. Could have easily said that Gord Lane was a standout for the hockey team in his role through this game. Won't buy it now. He blew it with me. Easily.
Now,
Go back.
Look at here. Nystrom and Melnick.
And think about the opportunity.
Melnick got a couple of lefts in on Nystrom. This goes back to the penalty, the lone roughing penalty against Nystrom at 17-19. It was he and Melnick who had gone to the corner together, you recall, and now they tumble to the ice, and in come the linesmen, Hodges and D'Amico, to try and pull them apart. This is always a scary time with those skates. Many people involved and down on the ice. 34 seconds, all that's left in the hockey game, and it's a shame that it has to end this way. It will right here for Nystrom and Melnick as they'll be ushered to their respective dressing rooms. Now we get a hail of debris on the ice. You look at Gary Doak, one of the assistant coaches with the Bruins, former defenseman. Nystrom, Melnick dropped 5 minutes each for fighting. 19:26, the time of the penalty.
Something you don't see too often, Jake. Gary Teevers, the coach, standing in the back behind his players on the bench, just took the water bottle. Of course, the goaltender, Peters, cannot go to the bench. He took the water bottle and fired it across down the whole length of the ice to his goaltender. He appreciates.
Next to the near boards, Dufour pokes it into the far corner. The fans count down the final 7 seconds. There's Tonelli over center ice, checked at the Boston line, and that's going to do it. Boutilier brought it in offside, but the clock ticks down to the zeros, and this game goes to the Boston Garden fans and the Bruins by a score of 4-1. Well, they return to the Coliseum with the series even. The The Bruins out to congratulate Pete Peters. He had himself a big performance tonight. And learn our results of the informal poll following these messages.